And today is Wednesday. Not only the fact that it's Wednesday, it is Wine
Wind
Down
down
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Yes.
And we are here to bring it to you, to give it to you the best way we can, the best way we know how. And it is February the 23rd. Let me get that right. Not February 22nd. February 2,
23rd.
2, 3. Okay, let's make sure we get that right. But we are here and we are here tonight and we're gonna talk about it. So y'all know who I am. Y'all know what I do. You know where pretty much I come from. But I'm Sandy and I'm sitting here with my girl.
Hey, it's Shanice. It's Wind Down Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. It is our favorite time. Y'all know we do this every single week. 6 p.m. It is going down, and we are here to talk about it. So, how was your week?
Baby, 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 baby. It was a good week. It was a great week. Life is good, God is good, it's all good. Everything is good. What's up, Beef Fry? What's
Hey,
going on, Beef Fry? Kicking it, tuning in from Michigan, unless you moved on me. What's up, Beef Fry? How you living, man? Good to
thanks
see
for
you.
tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in. Mentioning Beef Fry, I was in last year. I was in Michigan. When you go places and you just minding your own business, you looking around, quite a few people out, and all of a sudden somebody call your name, Talk Radio.
Who is
And
that?
don't nobody know me up here.
Right.
And looked
Yes,
around
they
and it was
do.
my man B Fry. B Fry,
That's what's up.
always good to see you when I'm in the Motor City. Hey, I might be coming up there. I might be coming up there soon, so I'll let you know, yay or nay, if I'm coming or not. So it's
That's
always good when you got good friends and old friends from years back tuning in, still watching you and see what's
that's
going
what's
on.
up.
So thanks,
Yeah.
B Fry, for
Thanks,
tuning in. But
thanks for supporting.
my week has been great. It's been good. Yeah, I'll hit you up when I come up there. I'll let you know when I'm coming. My week has been good though. Nothing. You know, nothing over the top. Oh my Lord, B Fry said, "Bring you." You never know. You might.
Hey, okay,
You
sub
might.
radio, you never know where we might pop up. So
Yeah,
that
she might.
we
She
we can
might
we can
show
we can
up.
arrange that. That's what's up.
Yeah, she might be there. You just have to keep your eyes open. Whatever. I'll let you know when we come to the city because she just might be with me. Just never know. We
For
roll like
sure.
that. We roll. We gets around like that. So
For sure.
my week good. My week good. My week is wonderful. Been great. What up, AJ?
Great. Hey, AJ, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in, listening
Yeah.
in, checking in. Listen. Okay, B Fry. We know. Give hugs to everybody. We
Thank you
know
for the
that.
invitation.
Thanks
Yes.
for the love. We know. She know. We can love everybody. That's the kind of person you are. Get love to everybody.
That's what's
Um,
up.
yeah, all is well on this end. How about your end, sis? How about your end?
Well, I'm a little sleepy, but I'm here. I'm grateful. We had a great time this weekend. Talk
Yes,
Radio was in the building on Sunday for
yes.
the Sexy Luther Vandross vibe with Bashiri. It was a good time. It was grown and sexy, no problems, laid back. I mean, what else can I say? It was the bomb. It was a bomb show.
It
So
was.
my week has been going pretty great. I wanted to choke somebody out today. I just, I really kind of want to hop into it, but I don't because I'm like, what
Okay,
be wrong with
but
people?
we gonna wait before we hop into it because you are right. This weekend was great. Bashiri was great. The
Yeah,
atmosphere, the vibe, the grown people.
yes,
It was good. Um, AJ say, look, she had a look. AJ saying the same thing. We about to jump into this thing.
okay,
But the Luther, the smooth sounds that he was singing with Luther, it
yeah,
was great. The crowd got into it, the dancing was going on. So he did a phenomenal job, along with Dusty, doing the
yeah.
dancing,
Well, he's so silly.
even I can't remember the girl's name, but
Ayana
yeah,
Summertree.
she was
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
It did everything was like it was a good vibe. It was a real good vibe. It was a grown and sexy, older upscale, so that's kind of
Yeah,
what I like.
very grown and sexy. Oh yeah, for
Very
sure.
grown. I mean, everybody in there, and I think it was good. The people enjoyed it, it was great. It was great. It was good. I like it was out the way,
It
kudos.
it really was out the way.
Was out the way, kudos for them for even, having it, and
For
it was
sure.
good. It was good. So other
Yeah,
than that,
they treated us well.
we stay tuned for the next event that's going on, that's taking place. We'll let you know.
Yeah, you got some stuff coming up.
So a few things that are coming up. But anyway, so we talking about it, people. Let's talk about it.
Yes.
So the thing is, what bothers you the most about people? There's a whole lot of stuff that take place. The reason why, and you don't know why people do the dumb stuff that they do, but they keep doing it. So what bothers you the most? And what happened, sis? What happened?
What bothers me the most is that people don't take in consideration that people don't play about their kids. Okay, it's not this just is not the time to play with people and about their kids. So my daughter was on the bus, the girl that usually sits in the seat didn't want to sit in her regular seat, so it held up my daughter from sitting down. So, the bus driver wanted to kind of get a little rah-rah with my daughter and say, basically like when she ain't on the bus, it's peaceful, blah, blah, blah. Negative. And so I stood right there at that bus stop and checked her like, you're not about to talk to my child like that, first of all. Second of all, ask questions on what happened. You making assumptions. Ask to say, hey, what happened? Why aren't you guys sitting down? Because of safety issues, I understand that. The bus hadn't even pulled off yet. Hey, why aren't you guys in y'all seat? Don't be talking negative and reckless to my kid, because I definitely am not the one. So I stood there at the bus stop and let her know that. And then I called some higher ups and let them know that as well, because I don't play by my kid. And I can be professional. I can be all things. You can call me, talk to me. Hey, this is what happened. I'm fine with that, but a fool of being rude, being nasty, talking down, like I'm definitely not about to tolerate you talking my child any kind of way. So I was a little flustered with that whole situation, but I handled it accordingly, professionally as usual, polished, classy. But it really got under my skin. I was like, this is the second time I had to come to that stop and have a little conversation with this bus driver, because she on a bus performing like this is her company. And I just had to remind her, you work for a company and you ain't the boss, but you got a boss. So chill on the way you talk. And I don't care about how you talk to other people's kids on this bus, but for my child, you're not gonna communicate to her in that manner. So craziness. Sometimes you just gotta let people then step out their lane a little bit. You just gotta correct them so they can get back in their lane. I don't want my car hit, so stay in the lane you supposed to be in. We have some technical difficulties looking like, so you guys hang in there.
I had
Are you back? I can't hear you. 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 I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
No, I was hearing you at first. I was hearing your conversation. What? Yes.
And then I took myself out and added myself back in. It's like, now you can't hear me. What is going on with this camera?
We have some technical difficulties. Please.
It's my fault.
Please hang in there with us. Tug Radio's Wind Down Wednesday. Sometimes this happens. It's okay. We keep it moving anyway, but we can't hear you.
What the world? What did I do?
What's in the feezy?
Yeah, what did I do? This is what happened when you go out and come back in.
She's gonna go out and come back in. So yeah, let's do that.
I think I'm back. It says something about use the layout buttons, add yourself back. Can you hear me, Ashley? Can anybody hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you loud and clear. Hear you loud and clear, sis. You
gotta read the fine print. You gotta read the fine print. You know, what's going on, Robert? You know,
Hey,
what's
Robert,
happening?
thanks for tuning in.
It's like I'm clicking buttons and pushing and pushing and pushing. Like, oops, that ain't the
That's
one.
the wrong button.
Pushing the wrong button. What's going on, Ashley?
Hey, Ashley, thanks for tuning in.
But y'all know what it is. Y'all know how people just do things, and it make you wonder why. Why are you doing this? You know, what can push you over the edge? Because at the end of the day, nobody really knows what kind of day you are even having.
Or what kind of day somebody else is having. And so that's why I try to yay, thanks, Robert. That's why I try to not tread lightly, but just kind of be a little bit more my thoughts when I say things, because but when it comes to your kid, you know, when it comes to my child, I had great restraint and professionalism today, because when it comes to fucking with your kids, it's just that's a different level. But you're right. You don't know where people's mental thoughts are. Hell, they don't know where your mental thoughts are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's my whole thing. What's going on? Yeah. Alabama in the house.
Hey, all right, Rose
What's up, Jennifer?
Hey.
My people. Checking in from down south. That's what I'm
That's
talking
what's up.
about. You're right. What people don't understand is it's one thing that you don't mess with. It's one's family members, mamas, and that's another thing I don't like. You know, my mom is no longer here.
Right.
And I'm a non-violent individual, but I never did play that your mama jokes. I don't like your mama jokes. That does something to me when you do a mama joke with me. It takes me to another. It almost made me want to do the exorcism, make my whole head turn around. You know, because that's something that you don't do, that you should.
It should be a level of restraint, and it should be a level of respect.
Right.
And people are really, I mean, we're really losing that in this day and time.
We are. The respect is no longer there, and I think people, it got that way when they had that last president in office, and people thought that they could just say and do anything that they wanted to do.
Exactly. It gave them confidence to feel as though they could approach, you know, certain people in a certain way that normally they would have never, you know, even dare tried.
Because my thing is, I feel, regardless of what or who it is, you should respect an individual. There's no reason why you should ever be disrespectful to anybody. Now, if somebody is in your face screaming and hollering and yelling, and you know, at some point you should walk away. Now, should you fall into that same category or that same space where they are, a place where they are mentally? No. I mean, what good is both of you all screaming at each other to the top of your lungs?
And some people, once they get there, they can't, like, they black out, like they can't come back from that. Like, you can't, you know what I mean? Some people know, like, it's better for me to walk away, like, because if I don't, I'm gonna get to a place where I just can't come back from.
Absolutely.
And that's not good.
And then that's not good. And I think we should at least try to veer away from that and stay away from that as much as possible, because it doesn't make the situation any better. But like you said, when you are coming after somebody's child, and I think a lot of times that's where parents get in trouble at school with their children, is that they don't want to hear the story first. They don't want to hear it first. I've seen it too many times. They come on 10 because their child and told them, Mama, Daddy, such and such and such, and did this, and the teacher, da da da. They come in on 10 without first wanting to hear about it. Now, if I'm there, and then I hear it, and you act that way, and with my child or in front of my child, and my child is there, now, but it's
gonna be a whole different situation, right?
But at least, you know, try to maintain your composure, because two people screaming, hollering, and yelling at each other
it don't work. And it's such a heightened time now with, like, everything that's happening in the world, like, just globally, that everybody is heightened off of every little thing. And so if you can be that person to pull along somebody to have a conversation with, like, look, I'm really on 10 right now. I really feel like doing XYZ. Like, you really need that buddy to be able to say, you know, share and talk to, that could kind of calm you down a little bit, or you know, get your mind in a different space. Right. Because a lot of times when you black out, it's definitely not a good deal.
It's
right?
not. It's not.
And it's too much going. It's too much happening right now. And people are losing their lives over really petty things that can be just worked out or talked out. And so a lot of things a lot of times it's just about non-communication or miscommunication.
And sometimes both, because it can be both at the same time. Now,
That's for sure.
You're saying, I talked about this the other day with somebody. You say, something to bounce off of, your thought process to bounce off of. I need y'all help out here, people. Because
that's right. We want you to chime in. We want you to talk to us.
I need your undivided attention and your answers right now.
Talk to us.
Now, when you need to bounce, here we go with bouncing information, bouncing knowledge, bouncing how you feel about something else or somebody else.
Yeah.
When you want to bounce your feelings off on somebody else, how do you feel about pillow talk?
That's a great question.
And when I say pillow talk, I mean you're with your mate, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your significant other, your husband, fiance, whatever it is.
Right.
You are with that person because now you want to bounce some things out. How do you feel about pillow talk? Do you think, or can you, or have you ever been in a situation or a relationship where you can open up freely and say whatever the Sam Hill you want?
Yes.
Pillow talk, during pillow talk.
Yes.
And it stays there. I mean, because you can't talk to everybody.
Oh no, you can't tell everybody everything. That's what they say. What the word say? You can't tell the left hand what the right hand is doing. Yeah, that's a no. You got to be very careful.
So how do you feel about the pillow talk?
I think
feel that you could share. Do you feel like you could share everything with your husband? I mean, like everything. Everything. Do you feel like you can share everything?
I do because that's my best friend. And I love pillow talk, but I think some conversations that I know I need to have with a lady, I can't have with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just can't. Like, it would just be like, what happened? But yeah, I think I love pillow talk. I feel like, in a relationship, you should always have that open honesty. It is definitely everything. Communication is everything, but pillow talk was like a really private time. And so that's a time where everything's kind of quiet. So you can just open up, you open up like a box, open up like a present. I think it's a very vulnerable space.
B. Fry said, he feels like when you're in the pillow talk, you should be able to share everything. And I get it because there are some things that you want to say, but you can't say it because you feel like your mate may not understand or they may not know because they aren't that male and they aren't that female and they don't get where you're coming from. But at the end of the day, it's like me personally, and I used to not be this way because there's a lot of times where I just wasn't talking about it. For what? What am I telling you what's going on? Why am I sharing with you what's going on? I got my girlfriends for that. I got my best friends for that. But the process now has changed for me over time. So can I sit there or lay there during pillow talk and can we discuss everything and have a positive feedback? Yes, I can,
I know that's right. Yes, ma'am.
You're in a relationship or whatever you're in, friendship, relationship, you have to be, there you go, B. Fry. You have to feel vulnerable to know that the love is true. That's
it. That's enough shit, right? That's a mouthful right there for sure.
Said a mouthful. You have to know that the person that you're with, that love that you feel for them, that you're able to share is true. It's real. That's the only reason why you even sharing the pillow talk. Because if you can't talk to your mate, who can you talk to?
Yeah, and that, like I said, like when you ask the question, that's what I was saying. Like, that's supposed to be your best friend. You know what I mean? Like, that person knows you on a level that nobody else will, and so therefore, it shouldn't be an issue with sharing. And like he said, take L to find a way.
Take that L to find out. Take that L if you want to. Take that L. Go ahead on and take that loss. and find
Hey,
out.
some people have to, they don't know no better.
Yep.
Or maybe they don't want to know no better.
And that's the whole thing. Because you have to know, and then we know things just don't happen right away.
Oh
Everything
no.
takes time, but you have to build up that to that point where that pillow talk, you're building that pillow talk point up where if there's something that you want to discuss, you should be able to discuss it during pillow talk, exactly. Come on,
For sure. For sure. We're all gonna age gracefully, and it ain't gonna all look the same. And
That's
so
right.
therefore, just what he said, when those things aren't working anymore, what will you have? What do you have? What foundation do you have?
Yeah.
So those relationships that are based on something sexual, it's gonna get really old or really tired very quickly, because that don't last forever.
Nope. I mean, and we already know, because a lot of times, even after the sexual encounter has taken place, or the love that you love making, whatever you want to call it, has taken place, everybody, pretty much have probably experienced one mate or another falling asleep, being tired, not wanting to have no discussions or talk or saying or doing anything. It could get to that point where you're not even having sex. The love making is not even there. And then what are you doing?
Yep.
You're just in the bed or on the sofa or wherever, and there is no pillow talk. There is nothing that you can talk about, because the only thing that was drawing you or keeping you was the sex.
And that's sad. But I mean,
And
some situations, people are in, a lot of people are in situationships because they've been hurt, and so they don't feel vulnerable enough to even get to a place where they can have pillow talk.
Yep. And you're right. Your coochie won't love you forever. I mean, let's be frank. You be knowing what to say.
That's facts.
And that is facts, because we were just talking the other night. I was talking to somebody. You got to continue to like somebody in order to love them.
That friendship piece is so important, because at the end of the day, when those different variables come on either side, that friendship is going to be the thing that's going to, it's going to hold everything together. It's going to hold you in place. Those memories, that friendship is important to have. Like, that's the foundation.
Yes.
Because if you don't have that, and it's just all about sex, so then when we ain't having sex, what we doing?
Right.
What we talking about? What we gaining? What we, you know what I mean? Like, what's happening?
And you're right, B. Fry. Your relationship should be spiritual. It should be a spiritual connection between you and your mate. And with that spiritual connection should come that communication that you guys should always continue to
work on.
Now, going back, are there some things that I won't discuss because I need to talk to my girlfriend about it first? Absolutely. And it maybe at some point down the road, the conversation may come up during pillow talk, but I'm not going to say everything that I talk about, talk on the pillow. No,
I mean, because some conversations, because like I said, like in a relationship, whether it's your girlfriend or your sister, it's some stuff that I talk to my sister about that. Why I don't got to tell my husband about that? Like,
exactly,
that's pointless. You know what I mean? Like, it may be conversations that me and you have. Every single conversation I have with a person, depending on the relationship, that doesn't have to be. You know what I'm saying? You got to use discretion.
Yes. When it comes to your relationship with your mate, it has to be some type of discretion, because you as a friend, and my girlfriends and my best friend, they need to know that if
there's some type of privacy, we got some type of privacy. Like, I can come to you and say, "Hey sis, XYZ, da 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 da," and not have to worry about we all around, and now he gonna say something about what I done told you about. Like, dang.
And you're right, B. Friday. Some other women, not all, because my girlfriends aren't like that. There are some women that get in their feelings because you do have somebody to go to at nighttime to talk to. You do have somebody that you can lay on that pillow next to and you can have those conversations with. But that's not, everybody doesn't have that. And there are some that are jealous because you do have that. But because I'm in the bed laying down and we're having those in-depth conversations, does not mean that I am going to be putting my girlfriend's business on the pillow with my significant other, or sharing. I'm not going to do that. that's not going to happen, because at the end of the day, if we're all gathered around and having a great time and we start hee-heeing and ha-haing, and then all of a sudden something slips out from my mate's mouth, you know, that shouldn't have been said to them in the first place, how is that gonna make my girlfriend feel?
Right. That's gonna cause a rift in our relationship as far as trust. Like in any relationship that you're in, whether it's your sister, girlfriend, whoever, there has to be a level of trust.
Right. Yes, we understand, B Fry, your narratives for the audience. Because my thing is, I don't want what my girlfriend discussed with me, because there's some things me and my girls are, baby,
Tight.
Like I said, if I call them in the middle of the night and say, I need you, blah, 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 there is not one of them that I do not believe that would get up and come into my rescue, and vice versa.
Yep, exactly.
If she tells me something that took place or that happens, it's not my business to lay in the bed with my partner and tell what was discussed, or even ask if this was you, or if you were in this position, or if you were in her husband's shoes or her boyfriend's shoes, what would you do? No, that's not something.
Yeah, some stuff is touchy. Some
should be discussed on the pillow.
Yeah, with
your mate. But
for sure,
people unfortunately feel like they have to do that. Well, I need to share. I just want to see what he got to say. But once again, when you get in that room, you get in that room with other people and it slip out. Now you put yourself, you put your mate.
It's embarrassing. It becomes embarrassing. And it's embarrassing for that person because they shared something. They shared a moment that they felt was so private that they could only come to maybe one or two people, if that, about it. And it probably took them some time, regardless of how long we've been friends. It probably took some time to come and even tell me. You know what I mean? Because people are really reluctant on sharing things because they don't want to be judged.
They don't. And that's a bad feeling, to be judged. Some people have they don't want to be judged. You should never judge anybody anyway. And we do, be Fry. We do have some superpowers. We do have, I'm not going to call it superpowers, but we have ways of doing things that y'all don't understand, or men don't understand, or
it's just like, and it's the same on their end. If something just, I can't talk to him. You know what I'm saying? We can't talk to a man about getting his prostate exam. I don't know nothing about that. You need to talk to a man.
But
you know what I'm saying? Just to have that done. That's just an example. But I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a conversation we need to have. Like, yes, you need to get that done for your health benefit. I'm here to support you, but I don't know what that's like. Like, so that's not a conversation, that pillow talk, that we necessarily have to have. Like. I'm down with having that conversation with another man.
Exactly. So if you having that conversation with me, and I go back and I'm laying down on the pillow, and I say, oh yeah, Trinice told me that, brother had to go do this, that, and the other, and they did this and they did. That's not something that I should be sharing with my mate. Even if the fact that you haven't had sex with your mate in a month, that's not something that I should be laying down on the pillow talking to my mate about somebody else's personal life and the things that they're going through, because now you're speculating on, and now their mind, you're laying in the bed. It's like, well, why are they telling you this? And if you're not doing that, well, why are you, what are you doing? What are you telling them? It's so it can lead to a whole lot of
yeah.
It can lead to a whole lot of, he can go left or right. And it is, you don't have to go in depth. You can show concern and understand and interest.
Or something as simple as, pray for my girlfriend. Bam. You know what I mean? Like we pillow talk, we talk intimate. We always talk about praying, or we pray for people. Just pray for my girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? It can just be that simple. Bam.
Right.
Well, what am I praying for? What happened? You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be none of that. It's gonna be like, oh, okay, cool, I'll do that. You know what I mean? Like, and it's that simple.
It is, because you may come to me for some real important information, or some in-depth, a secret that you just have not told anyone else. but you feel so confident and so relaxed and so trusting that you can share it with me. Then you share it with me, and then the next thing you know, I'm like, hey babe, what you think about, let me tell you what they said. Let me tell you what was, no, if your friend is entrusting you to hold it, you got to hold it, and then you have to do what you just said. You definitely got to pray, and you got
That's
to,
it.
you're right, be fried. You have to pray together for your friends. But at the end of the day, you can't be laying on the bed in the pillows talking about your friends and how they should do it or what you think they should do. No, talk about your own relationship. Talk about your own, how you going to fix it or make it better, or I mean, I'm not saying you can't discuss some things, but there are some things that you
I
just
just think I
not.
just think that in all relationships there has to be some type of boundaries um set. And so, it depends on the type of couple you are. Maybe y'all a couple that y'all can have those conversations and he really ain't gonna say nothing or she really ain't gonna say nothing. You know what I mean? Like everybody's different. I don't know, to each his own.
Yep.
Um but if someone's entrusted you with important information that they haven't shared with the whole wide world, you know, that speaks highly that they even thought of you to even share that. So,
Yep.
respect their boundaries with that and say, hey, is it okay if I tell son, it's okay, we pray about it together? They could tell you like, no, really don't say nothing to nobody else. Just, I want this between me and you. Ask those questions. Don't make assumptions.
It's like if, what do I look like telling you, my mate, we were in bed, and you know every time we do something or something happens, he got to move or make an adjustment, or you should know nothing is going
Yeah, keep people out the business like
on.
that, because then now folks, they minds is places you don't allow your mouth to be a paintbrush to paint a certain picture for them. And so then now you upset when XYZ happened, like you painted the picture for them. So how you get mad about it?
Right. And you shouldn't be, because you shouldn't have never told them in the first place. You shouldn't have never put the business out there in the first place. And one thing that I know that a lot of people, because I have, like I said, my friends, and I can hold it. It's a lot of stuff that I know that I would not tell. I will take it to my grave, not discuss it with anybody. There are
Take it
some
to Jesus.
you know that if you talk to, they ain't even got the word. They don't even have to worry about saying,
Don't say nothing because
don't
they
say
already
nothing,
know
because
you
they
ain't
know
gonna say
already.
nothing.
Don't
Yep.
say nothing. Because what if you're coming to tell me something that somebody else told you not to say? Then why are you repeating it to me? They already told you not to say it. So you come to me saying, well, don't tell nobody. Well, you don't tell me not to tell nobody. You shouldn't be telling nobody because they
You
told you
should
not
be
to say
telling
nothing.
me.
That makes sense.
It's an oxymoron.
It really is. Yeah, because it'd be some, yes. Man, it's lacking. Well,
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. And some of that, unfortunately, it's like you said, you done painted the picture with the paintbrush. Now
It's
they're
just like having an argument. You just have to have certain people that's gonna be in your corner that's gonna help hold you accountable and hold him accountable. You can't be with somebody who like I couldn't stand him anyway. For a man, coochie can be complicated.
it can be, but it can be because it can they boy, let me tell you something. Sometimes the unfortunate piece is that's what he's there for, and that's it. He'll take your pillow talk and take it to the next person. Because the only reason why he's there is because of the complication that he's having. Can't separate the two. Can't separate the sex from the real relationship, or can't separate, how that sex made him feel to the relationship that he really need to be in or should be in. So it is complicated. And the unfortunate piece, sex makes a lot of relationships complicated.
Yes, it does. And the fact that a lot of times men are just trying to figure out women, and you will never, you'll never. We're way beyond the Rubik's cube. Like you'll never figure us out, but you can be supportive, understanding.
Right.
try to understand. I can break it down. I can give you examples. You know what I mean? You may get it, you might not get it, but just listening, hearing us, supporting us, and I'm sure that's all you guys ask for in the same, on the flip side. So
Yeah, I mean, and the thing about it is, and that's vice versa. They would never understand us, and we would never understand them. So with all of that being said, why would I lay in the bed during pillow talk and share anything that is of any meaning from my friend with my mate while we are just, I mean, because everybody, I think at night, at some point in your relationship, you do need to have pillow talk. You do need to, take time. It's like you take time out to go to the gym. You take time out to eat. You take time out to go to dinner or have a glass of wine or whatever. You should take time out and have pillow talk with your mate. But you got to know what that discussion is going to be. And I'm not saying that you got to have pillow talk every night.
I don't know. Some nights you're gonna be more tired than others. Don't nobody talk to me. I just want to
right, because sometimes you don't want to be talked to. You don't want to. The discussions don't always. You don't always have to have those discussions, but there are times where you do need to have pillow talk with your mate. You have got to, but that pillow talk does not need to include what something is going on with somebody else and trying to
right. And that to me is not the definition of pillow talk. Like pillow talk is intimate time with me and you talking about our relationship, how it can get better for you, how you can get better for me, how when you did this it made me feel, how when I did that it made you feel, you know what I mean? Like on that type of level, you're like, you know what, I'm gonna try to work on that more. I'm gonna pray about that more. XYZ. Like it ain't about me talking about what somebody else got going on. Like for what?
And everything is a process. I was talking to somebody earlier today. It's like I have been divorced for like 10, 11 years now. And for me to be going back or coming back into a relationship, it's difficult because I have been alone, or not really alone, but by myself.
Doing your own thing.
Doing
Yeah.
my own thing for such a long time. We was just talking about this on Saturday night. Sunday night, we was talking about this in the parking lot or whatever when we went to eat. You have to give it time. It doesn't happen overnight. Things are not just going to go back, snap back.
Right. Rome wasn't built in a day, right?
Right. So everything takes time, and it's very difficult for me to make those adjustments to, okay, now you can't think about yourself. You no longer can think about yourself. You got to stop doing that because there's somebody else that you have to be
considerate of
and considerate of. You got to include them in the stuff that you're doing. And for me, I can only speak for me. That has been one of the most difficult things for me to make that adjustment because I know how I am. My friends know how I am. Yes, I got a soft heart and I'm a kind person, but to include somebody else now on my whole life, not a portion of it.
Definitely an adjustment.
Very, very difficult. And starting all over again, yes, B-Fry is extremely difficult. It's hard when you have done things
a certain way for so long.
Pretty much your way. I mean, and that's the way it has been for me. And so I met this other girl the other night, and she was having the same difficulties because that's how she was. She had been by herself for so long, and now she's in a relationship with somebody. And, it's kind of like, what do you do and how do you keep it going in a positive way? Shoot, baby.
I think that process is not tedious, but I think it's challenging. Either way, I'm sure it's more challenging because of the amount of time that you like, look, this is how I want to do what I want to do. I ain't gotta ask nobody, check on nobody, see if you feel like it, none of that. Like, but it's a process, period, because as you get into a relationship, you're an individual and they're an individual. So it's things that you go like and want to do, and it's things they go like and want to do, and you're not gonna agree with it, and they not gonna agree with it. So you just kind of try to come to some type of mutual agreement because you're not gonna always be on the same page about every single thing,
right?
But that's what makes the opposites. That's what makes the scale balance, though. Opposites attracting. That's what makes the balance out. Yeah.
And that's where too, where the communication piece. That's why I say I think everybody that's in a relationship need to have that pillow talk, because now you have that piece where you are discussing these, these difficult moments that, like me, I have these difficult moments. So I need to be able to talk about it and discuss it, and then try to walk through it as gently as I possibly can.
Right.
Some days it's harder than others. I want to put on them cowboy boots with them little things on the back.
With the spurs on the back.
Get me up, cowboy, but I can't do that, and sometimes it just, it takes, it's like I was telling Courtney the other day, it's like, it's a light bulb. Sometimes it don't come on right away. The light is very dim at times, but then all of a sudden, boom,
it's a balancing act. It's a balancing act to be take care of yourself, and then now somebody want to take care of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we are stronger in some cases. Let me say that. I think the what we were talking about too when we went out to dinner on Sunday night with some people is like, women need, and somebody's gonna beat me up for this, but women probably need to be more submissive than they are. And I'm gonna say this: I need to be more submissive than what I am now. Now, when I got married years ago, when I was young, and before I knew anything or whatever, I was very submissive. I was always.
But were you submissive because you was given something to follow?
Well, the whole thing is, I was, back then, you're thinking that you are, well, you were, and ain't no thinking, you're doing what the Bible says do. It's like, women, be submissive to your husbands, wives, be submissive to you. But, we have to know how we're using that word submissive. Don't take advantage because she is submissive. Don't use her. She is right. So there are things that we as women, we do need to be more submissive. I need to be submissive, and once again, over time, that is something that has to come back, that I kind of pushed away for a long period of time because I was doing so much by myself. I was doing it by myself. So there was nothing and no one for me to be submissive to, or no for me to be submissive at all. Society helps out with making.
You gotta explain that to me. What you mean by that?
I don't know on that one. I don't know how society can help.
You gotta shed a little bit more light on that.
Be submissive. I think society helps her not to be submissive, and the reason why I say that is because of the way all of these reality TV shows are on TV. It's like, it gives the women, the thought process of, I can do this, I can do that. I don't necessarily have. Yes, a man is good to have, need, want, and to care for and to love. Yes. But these shows are making it where these young girls don't feel like they need to be submissive to their mate. That's what I think.
Well, and on the flip side of that, a lot of men aren't really leading. So what is there? I mean, what am I? No woman's gonna follow a fool. So what are you being showed? What are you showing me to put me in position to be like, you know what? I need to submit to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, because there's a lot of foolish men out here, and women are tired of it, so they're like, I ain't submitting to nothing. Like, who are you? What are you doing? Right. Where are you going? You know what I mean? You're not gonna lead me down a rabbit hole. So it's on both ends.
Now see, you starting a whole new thing.
That's another look. That's a topic for a different day. That's another topic for a different
conversation. What I think it's a learning process with both. I think when you're in a relationship, it's a learning process, and I think both of you all are teaching each other
along the way. Yes,
what to do and how to do it. I don't think you should be teaching him or leading him. You should be helping each other get to a point where you need to get as a couple, as the union, as whatever. He should lead, because that's what the Bible says. He's the head of the household. He is the head of the household. So if he's the head of the household, he's the leader. He's the one that's showing how to lead the family in the right directions. He's doing all that. He's the one that's not saying both can't work at the same time, but He got to do some stuff to make.
Ultimately, I'm right there with you. There's a lot that falls on the shoulders of a man. Like, they have a lot of responsibility. I mean, you're right.
They were raised by the womb. They were. There are some men that were raised by. I get what you're talking about on that. But at the
Mhm.
end of the day, yes, you got to help him be the man and be the leader of the house that he should be. You don't just.
Talk
I'm
about it, Jennifer.
teach him. Teaching is helping and teaching, or I hope he come to the table.
It's one hand wash the other. You know what I mean? One hand wash the other. One hand wash the other, because it's a lesson. Every disagreement or every argument or every, there's a lesson each time. You know what I mean? So get the lesson. Let's keep washing one hand wash the other,
Because there are a lot of fathers that weren't there to teach them how to be leaders of their families, and they have become their own leaders in their own way. And is it always good? Probably not. But is it always bad? Probably not. So to have a helpmate can help him become the person that he needs to become, which goes back to, if we are never discussing it or talking about it, if the moments that we are able to do it is at during that pillow talk, then that's what we need to be doing.
Correct.
And expect him to just jump in and be the leader that he
and know what to do. Right.
It's not going to happen without that conversation, without talking about it, because that's a part
without forces, without failures. You know what I mean? Without lessons. It's just like a business owner. Like, you first jump in there, you kind of scared. You don't know what's gonna happen, but you like, okay, along the way, there's waves and there's kinks, but you work through them.
Nothing is ever even, beef fry. I don't think it'll ever be a 50-50 and nothing. It should never be.
Nobody said it better be even.
The unfortunate piece too, sometimes we do build a man up to where he is and where we think he should be. And don't feel bad to say it. Sometimes the women are responsible for a lot of these things, but we're not going to take all of that responsibility.
No,
we're not.
80-20.
Yeah, sometimes it's 80-20, 20-80,
I say 100-100. And the reason why I say that is because if your cup is 100 and my cup is 100, we can pour into each other. If I get down to 20, you still 100, you can still help me out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a backwards and forwards thing. It'll never be like 50 here, 50 there. Like, it's never, that's the 50-50. That's just out the window.
Yeah. And that's the way it should be. At the end, you're right, Shanice, and you're right. At the end, it should all equal out to be 100%, regardless of who does what, when, where, why. It should all equal out to be 100%. What happens if he was the man, he was leading the household, and all of a sudden he no longer has a job?
Right. Or he, in a wheelchair, from the waist down paralyzed. Like,
what happens?
You go be like, hey, I ain't never take out the trash. I'm sorry you're in a wheelchair, but you gotta take trash out. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you go come alongside and be, sensitive as you would want that person to be with you. Like, people don't really think about that.
But what happens if he ain't even got to go through all of that? He just lost his job. Now you got to step in, and take over, or be a part of, helping him continue to be the leader of the house, which means that pillow talk at night, you got to talk about the what ifs, the possibilities of what could happen, what may happen. Mm-hmm. How are you going to deal with it once it hits? Because a lot of times I think we forget and we don't discuss that. We discuss the now.
Or we have, which is tunnel vision, and we're just thinking about everything that's going on, like you said, right now, instead of in the future, and God forbid negative things happen, but unfortunately they do, and we can't time them all the time. It happens randomly. I need to know, like, if something happened that I'm in a wheelchair or I lose my job, you ain't gonna be like, well, peace out. You know what I'm saying? I can't do this no more. These are conversations that need to be had.
And it is.
Yes, definitely, for sure.
Regardless if it's good, bad, or ugly, those are the moments late at night or early morning when you're sitting there and the sun is rising or setting or something, and you know, you're in the bed and you're laying down and here comes the pillow talk. You know, you just gotta have it. You gotta talk about it. But there are some things that takes place during pillow talk that should not be shared with nobody else. I mean, absolutely nobody. You know, don't get in your feelings and all of a sudden you want to step outside the box to your friend and discuss pillow talk that happened 2 weeks ago, last night, or this morning. No, don't do that. There's some things that you can't say.
That goes back to those boundaries, you
Yeah.
know.
I mean, you got to stay within that, though. You got to stay within those boundaries, and with those boundaries come trust. You know, during that pillow talk, I'm trusting you. You're
With
gonna
this information. Yeah.
you're gonna tell me what you think. You're gonna let me know how you feel, and vice versa. But at the end of the day, once that pillow talk is over, nothing else should be discussed. I don't care. Don't discuss it, because there are things that should not be said during pillow talk. You know, it just shouldn't. You just got to keep those things to yourself. Thank you, AJ.
Yeah, I know, AJ, right? Type it in the comments. We talk
Yeah.
about it.
But
Whatever your comment is, type it in real quick. I know you at work.
the thing about it is, some people don't know their boundaries. You know, they don't know
For sure. Or
boundaries.
maybe they don't understand or respect the other person's boundaries. You know, maybe what you feel is pillow talk, that person may not. So those are the type of conversation that you have to have. Like, hey, everything that we're talking about right now, I'm talking to you in confidence. You know, sometimes you got to put that out there, especially if you're newer in your relationship. You know, communicate that, like, hey, I don't want you to talk to anybody else about what we talking about. You know, we can revisit this conversation again, but you know, I just feel like it's really private.
And then sometimes the unfortunate piece, sometimes you have to continue to repeat the stuff over and over and over and over again. That's the unfortunate piece, but you have to do it. At the end of the day, like I was saying earlier, the light was dim at some point, but
we learned.
You know, it got brighter. Because you start to realize and you start to understand and you're starting to see what it is, because now I'm no longer by myself. You know, I'm no longer, if I'm gonna be in something, I can't walk around here still thinking 10 years I'm by myself. 10 years I've been doing this, 10 years I've been doing that.
Right.
What you got to realize, and during that pillow talk session, those are the conversations that need to take up. Those are the, you know, those deep, dark, embedded conversations that you need to have to discuss with them, but they don't need to come out the next day and say, yo, dog, let me tell you what she said. Let me tell you what he said. You know, you don't need to
no gossip.
Folders of pillow talk.
Yes, that's right.
That's right.
Everything is in its right compartment.
It's a fire, keep adding logs.
Yes.
You know, and that's why you got to treat the relationship. Be fry. That's what I'm talking about. You know, you got to, if the fire seems like it's going out, there's some point you got to figure out what kind of log are you going to put on that fire to keep it going. You know, and those are the conversations that you have to have with your mate. And like I said, the best time that you can have those conversations are during pillow talk.
Yes, you know? Jennifer, you're right. Different categories of pillow talk. I agree with you.
Categories, that's right. But I feel, because that's when you will, I'm telling you, hear what I'm saying, y'all. You will have more and better conversations during pillow talk than you will sitting up trying to watch a movie after you eat dinner.
Trying to sit at the table face to face. Like, it's just something about it because you are just in a relaxed state. You know what I mean? Like, you're just in a relaxed state. So it's like,
yeah, and you're not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're not going anywhere. You're right there
to sleep next, but that's it. You know,
in a silent moment. You know, in a quiet moment, at a quiet time, and those are the times that you need. Even if you're angry, you should still at some point have that pillow talk. I mean, you know,
never talk. But never talk when you're angry. Never, ever, ever.
Well, I ain't gonna say that, because
I'm gonna say it because you're gonna say words out that you can't get back. So just you gotta have your time away.
The truth will set you free. I had a friend that used to tell me, and they still do, You know, there are times where sometimes you got to give yourself a 24-hour time frame, but you should not wait no longer than 24 hours to discuss it. But I am going to say it, but I might wait to 24 hours to say it, but I'm going to say it. And I might not say it in the tone that I would have said it in, being angry.
Exactly.
But I'm going to say it, you know. And once
But it's more thought put behind it, you know, with that 24 hours, more thought put behind it. Whereas I'm in a rage and I'm gonna say something that's gonna snap you down like that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say it. I'm going to say it, but
it ain't gonna come out like you would when you're in a rage.
I'm gonna say it in a different tone. My tone will be different, you know. And during that pillow talk, it's like, because sometimes we know when you go to bed and you all heated and everything, you know, you lay down, it's a calm feeling. You become calm while you're laying. You do. I don't care what nobody say, because you become more relaxed.
You have to, right?
You get ready to go to sleep or whatever. Your body becomes more laid back.
Because you got to wind your thoughts down.
Yeah. So there are times where you can still have those pillow talks, because 5 hours earlier you were so mad that you couldn't say nothing. But before you go to bed, I don't think, you know, and I was always told, you know, don't go to bed angry. Don't let
the sun go down. Don't let the sun go down, baby.
Yeah. So I feel within that 24 hours, and my best time to do it is during pillow talk. My best time to discuss it is during the pillow talk. So I'm gonna wait a little while, but it'd be discussed. I'm just not going to say it the way it was when I was angry, but I'm gonna let you know though. But I think you should say what you feel and feel what you say. Perfect time. Talk nice while. Only you.
See, that's a different thought process.
Yeah, his tongue twisting inside his own mouth to keep him from being angry and saying something he ain't got no business saying.
Listen, because when you angry, baby, you talking, you can't call that when you the stuff you say out of your mouth, you cannot call it back.
Yes, you can't take it back. But at the end of the day, it's your true feelings and it's your true thoughts, and it's actually what you really wanted to say. It's just in a different, way. Just in a different way.
You know? Hey, walking truth all the time. That's all I can tell you. Yep. Whether you're upset or whether you're not, when you're not, because
exactly.
You know, when you're upset, when you're not really thinking logically.
But like I said, pillow talk, when you are that's the best, because you're relaxed. There's no distractions. There's nothing there that can distract you, because you are in a conference.
So what she's saying is lay down. Just lay down.
Lay down. Lay down. Your head back. And just have that conversation. You know, you don't, babe, you know, honey, sweetheart, is it okay if we have a discussion? Pillow talk is, to me, is the best time that you can have some great conversations. But whatever happened at that pillow talk don't need to come out in the morning.
Mom's the word.
Once you go to the bathroom, does not need to be discussed via text message. I mean, pillow talk is just what it is, pillow talk. And that pillow talk happens with you and your mate, and it should not go anywhere else. Because if you tipsy and y'all at a party and you kicking it and having a good time, and then you gonna be like, yeah, I remember what Sandy said. And then my girlfriend gonna look at me and be like, I told you that in confidence.
Right. So, she don't really like you no way, because your big toe is bigger than the other toes.
Exactly.
Silly.
Trust that what happens at that pillow talk is gonna stay at pillow talk. And those are big letters. And that was something that, and I'm still working on it, you know.
I feel like we all are. I'm
still working on it, because, you know, to even like I was saying, when we went to eat the other night, there are layers. There were layers to me. There were like layers. I had concrete walls up everywhere. You know, if I walked, there was a concrete wall. You know, to get to me to shake my hand, you had to knock the concrete wall just to get. So there were several layers of concrete walls that was up. That refused to let down. My friends would tell you, they had friends that wanted to talk to me, but they was like, nope, because my attitude was horrible. I came off rough. nobody, it was just bad. It was bad because I didn't feel like I didn't want to trust myself with nobody. I didn't want to, it's just stuff that I don't want to be bothered.
Right. You feel like you was protecting you.
I was protecting me. Because I refused to go through that all over again, and I wasn't going to do that. Even trying to get to know somebody, I did not even want to do that. Don't even waste my time. Nope. Nope.
Right.
My attitude was like really horrible. It stunk. But then it's like, okay, here's the light bulb. Here's the light. Now you got to figure out what you're going to do. Those layers have to continue to get knocked down. So I have gotten to the point where I can have pillow talk.
It's Wind Down Wednesday. Y'all already know how we do it. We keep it real. 1,010%. We always appreciate all our viewers worldwide. Always stay tuned. We are on Facebook. We are on YouTube. You can wind this back. You can share this with your friends. You can have a conversation about it. What you think, what you don't think. You can inbox us, message us if there's a topic or a conversation you'd like to have. We would love to have it with you. If you're someone who wants to hear the conversation but not be a part of it, we'll respect that. We can do that too. So it's Wind Down Wednesday. Y'all know what time it is. We do this every week, and we come to a point where we talk about what we
we got
give you a positive quote.
We got a positive quote, but we got some events coming up. One coming up March 6th, comedy show out the way.
Yes.
I'll post it on my page. I'll post it on the Tuck Radio page. It'll be posted on the Instagram page.
It'll be posted on my page.
That's where we were this past Sunday. We were at Out the Way.
Yeah.
A marvelous time. So, if you want laughter is good for the soul. Even that pillow talk, you can crack a couple of jokes and laugh. So, but if you really want to laugh, come out on March 26th at Out the Way.
Yes.
And get your laugh on. Because
you can go on, get your tickets. You can go to Hold Your Side Entertainment on Facebook. To get your tickets, you go to the website to purchase your tickets. It's $20 in advance and $25 at the door. So come through, bring your boo, come solo, bring your girlfriends, bring your guy friends. Just come laugh. Everybody needs laughter. Everybody needs laughter.
If y'all ain't doing nothing, April 8th, come to the Andrew Brady Music Center.
Yes.
Michelet, John B., and Life Jennings from Toledo, Ohio, will be in the building. Get your tickets. Tell everybody to come on out. April 8th, it's on a Friday, and March 26th is on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So come on out. Yeah. No excuses. We always talk about we ain't got nothing to do. There's plenty to do in the city of Cincinnati, state of Ohio.
For sure.
April 8th, March 26th, you're going to laugh. April 8th, you're going to get your jam on at the Soulful Sounds concert. So come on out. Pay attention to the Facebook page, the Instagram, and whatever else we got out there with social media. But anyway, you have your pillow talk. Your moments. Don't keep everything inside because the buildup is not good. But have your pillow talks, and I recommend that you have them. If you need to have them often, then have them often, but at least have them once a week. Try to have a pillow talk with your mate at least once a week. It'll do wonders.
We'll do that's what we'll get at its homework. Pillow talk once a week. Just try it out. If you've never tried it, try it out. If you have tried it, it's been a while, retry it again.
Yep. Because sometimes, like B. Fry said earlier, you got to continue to put a log on the fire in order to keep that fire going.
I love it. Yes.
So we have come to the end of the show. We want to thank you all for watching, but it's time now for our positive quote.
Yeah. Stay tuned. Follow us. And yes, definitely, it's all love. My positive quote is just stay true to you, stay true to yourself, communicate often with everyone as best you can. Never make assumptions, and always think about your mental state, but think about other people's mental state. Everybody's not where you are, and that's okay. So yeah, I just gave you a mouthful, gave you a few positive quotes.
Stay true to you. Be you. But know how to be you. It's called a balance and it's called compromise. But don't let nobody take you out of your character. Make sure you maintain full throttle, but be good at what you do and be good at how you do it. Because at the end of the day, y'all know me, positive in, positive out.
Yes.
And it's always better to give than it is to receive. Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And don't forget, Pillow Talk once a week. Try it out.
That's
We'll see
right.
you later. Take
See you
care.
next week.